In this last video, I want to show you how we can change the color of the circle depending on the button that we press. So for this, I want to save a bunch of colors in advance so that I can switch between them. So let's make an int called current color, and then let's make an int called color1 and color2 and color3. Okay, so let's go ahead and change them in setup. So color1, I'm going to set to be red. And then color2, I'm going to set to be 0 red, all green, no blue. So color2 is going to be green. And then color3 is going to be no red, no green, and all blue. All right, so I'm not actually painting anything yet. I'm not changing any colors. All I'm doing is I'm figuring out what number represents red and storing that number here. And then what number represents green and storing that number there. And then later on, I can use each of these numbers to actually change the paint color that I want. Okay, so, and then let's set current color. So here I'm going to say current color equals C1. So what that's doing is I'm taking red, which is C1, and I'm saving it inside current color. All right, so now I'm going to do this. Let's delete this, and I'm going to fill with whatever number is inside current color. So when we first start, current color is red, so I'm going to fill with red. Let's go ahead and make our ellipse display at mouse x, mouse y with a fixed size of 60/60. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure just that much works. So I press play and we've just got the red circle that moves around with my mouse. All right, let's make it change color. So here inside if key pressed, and again, make sure that you have matching braces here. When you put your cursor on one, you should see the other one get highlighted. Let's test to see if the number 1 is being pressed. So if key equals 1, and I'm doing it inside single quotes, and then again, check to make sure you've got matching braces here. So if key equals 1, I want to make the color be green, let's say. So how do I make the color green? I don't actually want to fill right here. You could think about it this way. Let's fill with green. The problem with this is it is going to change your fill color to green, but we haven't drawn any ellipses yet. So the code's going to keep running. It's going to get to the bottom of draw, go back to the top again, and then we're going to change the fill color back to red again before we draw the ellipse. So we did change the fill color, but we didn't actually paint anything on the screen using the fill color. Instead, we just changed it for a minute, and then it got changed right back again. So I think a better way to do it is let's always fill right before we draw the thing we want. And instead, the way that we're going to change the color is we're going to change the number inside this variable. Because if the number inside this variable is red, then we'll fill with red before we draw it. If the number inside here is green, then we'll fill with green before we draw it. So here, whenever we press the 1 key, I want to set the current color to be equal to C2, which was green. So I'm taking green and saving it inside current color. And now, the next time we go back through the draw loop, I'm going to fill with a new number because we changed the number inside current color. Let's do one more. So if key equals number 2, then let's set current color equal to C3. And remember, C3 I defined up here as blue. Okay, here we go. So here it's red. I hit the 1 key and now it's green. I hit the 2 key and now it's blue. And I can switch back and forth between green and blue as I hit those keys. Go ahead right now and make it so that when you hit the 3 button, it will change the color to red. Pause the video, give it a try. When you hit the 3 button, it will change to red. Okay, here's my solution. I'm just going to copy this entire if key equals 2 business. I'm going to paste it right here. Except I'm going to say if key equals 3, then let's set current color back to 1 again. So I've got 3 different if statements that test different buttons, and I save a different number inside current color depending on what button is being pressed. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm switching back and forth between the colors. If you want something that's more fun, let's comment out the background up here so that way we're leaving a trail behind us. And then you can change the color of the trail that's getting left also. So here's red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. So nice.